What's up guys, it's ManUnitedDaily and I'm today going to bring you the latest news surrounding Manchester United. The first story I'm going to talk about today is Michael Carrick. As you know, he scored that great solo run against QPR yesterday, and after the match he came out and talked about how he's delighted with the solo goal, and a lot of people, including Jamie Redknapp on Sky, has not criticised Michael Carrick, but has their say and telling him how they expect more from him and expect more contribution like that from him, because they know how good of a player he is, and out of time right now when we need a lot of quality in midfield, and he has that quality, and he now needs to step up his game and in order to help the team with the injury crisis that we have at the moment. So hopefully we'll see more of that from Michael Carrick. He said that it just seemed to open up for me, and I kept on going and thought, why not? It was just great to see it go in. So there you go, Michael Carrick delighted with his goal yesterday. It was his first for nearly 2 years, and what a great way to end that drought. So hopefully with the injury crisis right now, him and Phil Jones can develop a strong relationship at the core of our midfield, and yeah, hopefully Michael Carrick will push on and contribute to the team in an attacking sense. The next story I'm going to talk about is the current argument between Roy Keane and Sir Alex Ferguson. It's really damaging to see one of the club's legends coming out like this and criticising our manager as grotesque and as strong as it is from a person I didn't expect. And Roy Keane, you know, a living legend who has won many honours and caps at our club, and now for him to come out and criticise the manager as he has, it's really shocking to see. So for one comment, he says, "People say Ferguson always does the right things for Man United," Keane said. "I don't think he does. I think he does what's right for him." I mean, that is the most insulting comment you could ever say to a manager. A manager is supposed to be the person who looks over the squad and the club and pushes the club in the right direction that they see fit. And to be fair to Sir Alex, I mean, over the past 25 years you can't criticise what he's done for the club. There was a drought period before he arrived when it was Sir Matt Busby till right up to the moment he arrived. There was a trophy drought where we haven't won nothing for 10-15 years, and he really ended that reign. And we've been now the most successful club in England in regard to domestic league titles. And remember our record in Europe, guys: 3 finals in the last 4 years. I know we didn't win 2 of them, but they were against a better side in history, in my opinion anyway, and that's obviously Barcelona. But yeah, Sir Alex Ferguson's records speak for itself, so I don't know what's Roy Keane's purpose and mental state to be even to say these sort of things to Sir Alex. And one of the other quote he said about that, if it wasn't for players like him, Sir Alex wouldn't be as successful as he is now. And yes, you have to say that that could be very true, but if it wasn't for Sir Alex in the first place, Roy Keane and players like Cristiano Ronaldo wouldn't have their chance at a big club like Manchester United anyway. And if it wasn't for Man United, where would he be? Would he just stayed at Nottingham Forest? Would he win Champions League, Premier Leagues, FA Cups, League Cups? And the answer to that, I think, is no. If you look at Forest's record, yes, they had a very good late 80s to 90s with Brian Clough, but where have they been got since? They're stuck in a championship at the moment and unable to get out of it. So I think it's quite damaging for Roy Keane's reputation for coming out and saying stuff like this. So hopefully he'll sort it out. And I don't know, is it because of a backlash for the 2005 move? As you know, he suddenly went to Celtic, so I don't know if it's a backlash for that, but hopefully this current situation will be resolved soon. Now to transfer news. One of the most talked about areas of our club is obviously the central midfield area, where we currently have 3 players injured in Darren Fletcher, who is ill, Tom Clever and Anderson with long-term injuries, so there is not a lot of cover in that area. And at QPR we started with Michael Carrick and Phil Jones, and Jones is not naturally a centre midfield. He's just a centre back who has extraordinary ability to adapt to any position he's played into this season. So we can't rely on Phil Jones always doing a job there. We need some more cover, and so a lot of people will come out with speculation about Snyder again from the summer. But now it has emerged that today Manchester United coach René Mullenstein has revealed that we have been tracking the Ajax playmaker Christian Eriksen. So if you don't know, he's a 19-year-old who's been regarded as the next Michael Laudrup. He's playing, as I said, as Ajax, but in the kind of number 10 role where he's drifting in and out, but he can also play in wide areas. The first time I saw him was England versus Denmark, and he really outplayed Jack Wilshere in that game. It was a matchup between them two, and he really dominated that area and didn't give Jack Wilshere, and we all know how good Jack Wilshere is. So Christian Eriksen, a very good young talent to have. But René Mullenstein, again, like I said, has come out today and said that they have been tracking him. But if we are going to make a serious bid for Eriksen, it would take about 20 million or so to even tempt Ajax into that decision. So this is what Mullenstein had to say. This is a player that is on our radar, but that is to be expected. If people weren't looking, no one would ever have an opinion on these players. It is true that a player like Eriksen would fit our transfer policy. He is being strongly linked with us, but to suggest that we are about to move is not true. So really reasonable comments from Mullenstein. Yes, you can't really ignore these young talented players from abroad nowadays. Just say like Goetze, everyone's being linked with him, but I'm sure we have some scouts on him. But being scouted by a club doesn't necessarily mean we're going to get him, because I bet you any money now that even though we're at a game scouting him, there will be at least 5 other clubs scouting him, because that's how hot Mario Götze is as a footballing property to other clubs right now. So Christian Eriksen, what do you think of him? Leave me a comment down below. The last story I'm going to talk about is surrounding another transfer, and this time looks a lot more solid than the last one. It's not even a rumour, it's supposedly that the deal has been done. And the player in question, it's Nicolas Gaitan. We all know who he is, plays for Benfica. He was sensational in both legs at home and away this season in the Champions League against us, and I was very impressed with him. Didn't know a lot about him beforehand, but yeah, he's really pushed his reputation and enhanced it during the 2 matches he played. So if you didn't know, he's a 23-year-old playmaker who can play out like Eriksen on the wing, and he plays for Benfica at the moment. The deal being touted is around 29.3 million, and it's done by Jorge Mendes. If you didn't know who Jorge Mendes is, he's one of the elite footballing agents. He's bought us Cristiano Ronaldo, Nani, Anderson, David De Gea and Bebe to Old Trafford, so you know he's a reputable man in this sense. And with Portuguese and Spanish players, he is the master. If you need any deals done with him, because his footballing agency is vast with, as you see, those sort of players, and so it's very reputable. And when they mention his name, I do sense that there is fire to there to be smoke like this. So, and various newspapers in the UK have reported this, from even the Independent, and I would put 85% chance that this is actually a true story. However, the deal is supposedly not going to take place until next summer, because Benfica is still in the Champions League, and obviously they want to hold on to their best player in order to have the best chance to progress in that competition. And it wouldn't make sense for us to get him that much anyway, because yes, he would help us and transform us in the league, but it's very difficult for a foreign player to come in the Premier League and settle straight away. And do you see with Fernando Torres, I know that he hasn't hit form straight away, but it does take time for other players to settle in. And yeah, the summer would be a better time for us to get him, as it will allow him time to integrate into the squad and know how playing, passing and stuff like that. So what do you think of Nicolas Gaitan? Please leave a comment below. So if you like this video, please comment, rate and subscribe. Cheers guys.